Hey guys, I'm back. I'm back. And you'll have to excuse me and please forgive me if I sound weird because I've been sick for a good few days and I'm not entirely over it, but I feel good enough to record. How was your Thanksgiving? I like that too. I'm just kidding. But um as of late nothing interesting has been going on. And I have to say it's It's an interesting game. I just got it because of all the hype I've been hearing about it and stuff. But oh, sorry, you're gonna hear a lot of that maybe. But I I got it because I heard all the hype many months later, and so far I kind of don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I'm not even that far in the game, and I'm just kind of tripping out already because I have no idea what the heck is going on and all that. Sorry, please excuse me. Um, But that's not what I want to talk about. What I did want to talk about was I actually want to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. And right now I know there's a fox listening right now, and he's rolling his eyes saying, dude, come on. Well, I don't know. I'm, because he says I talk about it a lot and I seem obsessed. But then again, he talks about a certain thing a lot. So I can't really say that to his face just yet, but you know what? Whatever. Anyway, I would like to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, and what a question I get as a Kingdom Hearts fan from the people is like, what do you think will happen with Kingdom Hearts 3? Um, as far as I'm concerned, and that I know, it's not going to be the last Kingdom Hearts 3, even though everyone thinks it will be. It's going to be the last in the Dark Seeker saga, which is the whole thing with Xehanort wanting to find out about the Keyblade War and all that. Oh yeah, before I mention anything, if you don't, well, I kind of did, but if you don't really know about Kingdom Hearts and the storyline, I suggest two things. One of two things. You can either go on Wikipedia and try to learn it, or you can play all the games, or just even watch game walkthroughs of all the games. Because if you play 1, 2, and 3, you're not gonna know shit. But if you play all the they're not side games. They're like, oh crap, I don't know what to call them. They're definitely not spin-offs, but they're like side stories. It's still all part of the main story, but it fills the gaps between the main games, like Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Chain of Memories fills the gap for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. You need to play that in order to understand what's going on in 2. But there's an example. So with Kingdom Hearts 3, it's the last one in the Dark Seeker saga, which is Xehanort going after the Keyblade War, and we met Xehanort in Birth by Sleep. Um, but Tetsuya Nomura did confirm that 3 will not end the Kingdom Hearts series. It will end the story, but then we could end it with Sora as well, and we could get a new Keyblade hero. But and that's what I know. And people often ask, like, okay, Ruben, or Tieg. Oh crap! I said my real name. I've been violated. Oh no! Everyone knows my true identity now. I'm gonna have to stay in the shadows. I gotta live under a rock. I gotta change my name. I gotta change my name. Start a new life somewhere. No, not again. I have to stop this now before it begins. That was from SpongeBob. Anyway. Sorry. um, what was I talking about? I don't know. Oh yeah, it's gonna end this chapter, if you would say. But people ask, like, Teague, we still have a lot of things to find out and things that need answers. What do you think is going to happen? Honestly, in my opinion, okay. Square Enix is also in charge of Final Fantasy. Want to know what they did? They made Final Fantasy 13, and then they made Final Fantasy 13 2. I think it's a possibility that may happen with Kingdom Hearts 3. Because like I said, we need a lot of stuff to be uncovered and a lot of stuff to be found out. This is going to be either one hell of a long game, or it's going to be split into 2 parts, which I think would honestly be somewhat cool, but it could also be very, very bad, because they could say like, okay, where do we go wrong with Kingdom Hearts 3? Oh, we could change the controls in this way and that way, change party members to behave in a certain way. The game could be 2 different games, and I know that sounds like, well, Root T, it is 2 different games. There's Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3 2. Yeah, I know, weird anonymous voice, but they're still the same game, but it's gonna be different. They're gonna be 2 different games. No, I can't. Well, then again, no, I can't bring an example of that. But we're either getting a very long game or we're gonna get a game split into between 2 parts, which it would be interesting, but it would also be very, very scary to see what's gonna happen with mechanic-wise and all that. Another thing is Kingdom Hearts has been notorious for being released too early. Even Nomura said that when the first Kingdom Hearts was announced, it was announced too early. When the second Kingdom Hearts was announced, it was announced too early. When they teased Kingdom Hearts 3, he even said, we teased it way too early. And that has made the very notorious final mix versions of the game, which is basically like more cutscenes, secret bosses, better keyblades, new abilities, and final mix versions are basically what the game. Okay, let's take Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Kingdom Hearts 2 was released early when they thought, they're like, okay, push it out, you know, people want it, we're good, we're okay to release it, it's not buggy, it's not glitchy, it's good, go ahead. But Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix is like saying, this is what it should have been, but you know, we released it because you guys wanted it, but it's got these new bosses, it's got this new dungeon, it's got these awesome side quests in another form, abilities, enemies, all that. That's basically it. I honestly think there will be a Kingdom Hearts. It's kind of obvious there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix. Not sure how it'll play out, but it's very, very, it's to be expected. But since it'll be for PlayStation 4 and unfortunately Xbox One. Oh, God. That's another rant I gotta do for a different time. Anyway, it'll probably be DLC, most likely. It will not be its own separate disc, because honestly that would be kind of stupid for them to do, since it's released for a new generation console. You could just download the final. They'll probably just put it down for DLC, and hopefully everywhere out of Japan won't have to wait another 7 years to get that Final Mix version like we have done with the past 3 Final Mix games. There was Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. Those games were Final Mix releases, but we didn't get those like till years and years and years after the originals were. The Final Mixes were originally released in Japan only as a Japanese exclusive. We'll have to buy like a Japanese PS4 just to play the Final Mix versions. But people ask me like, what do you think will happen with the Final Mix? They'll definitely be DLC, and if they are discs, that maybe not the same time as Japan, but it definitely won't be years. It'll be probably a couple, maybe the duration of how normally a game in Japan has to wait before it's released in America or anywhere else outside of Japan. But that's mostly what I wanted to talk about today. My thoughts on the future of Kingdom Hearts 3 and what it'll become. I honestly think we may get 2 whole games, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 3 2, because they did that with Final Fantasy. This is, I think it's going to be one hell of a long game because we need freaking answers. Have I ever cussed on my show? Nah, fuck it, I'll do it now. Oh no, I said a swear. This is all now rated R. No one else can watch this. But I gotta get out of here. I'm Tieg the Graywolf, and I'll see you next time. They're after me. Cut.